Hello, my name is Jiso, and I'm reading Master Dōgen Shōbōgenzō. Sorry, it's chilly this morning, and I have this rotten cold, hay fever, COVID, whatever it is. I apologise if I'm incomprehensible. There's only a few pages left. We are on Senmen, chapter 56, which means washing the face. And we just had a lesson on chewing the willow twig. Paragraph 144. The Sutra of the Pure Net Bodhisattva Precepts says, disciples of the Buddha always practice dutta. 43. Sanskrit dutta has two meanings: the 12 ancient practices, the practice of begging for food every day and not accepting invitations, which is the first of the 12 dutta. In this case, dutta suggests the second meaning. Right, begging for food every day and not accepting invitations. Always practice dutta in 2 periods of the year. Sit in zazen in winter and summer and observe the summer retreat. Okay, it's described in detail in chapter 79. Great. Always use the willow twig. Powdered beans for washing, the 3 robes, a water bottle, the patra, a prostration cloth, a staff, an incense burner, a bag for filtering water, a hand towel, a knife, a flint, tweezers, a rope stool. It's a folding stool with a rope seat. Sorry, give me a minute. Oh, this is not good. Sutras, precepts, a Buddha image, and a bodhisattva statue. When bodhisattvas go practicing dutta, and when they travel, even if the journey is hundreds of miles or thousands of miles, these 18 things should always go with them. The dutta last from the 15th of the first lunar month to the 15th of the third lunar month, and from the 15th of the 8th lunar month to the 15th of the 10th lunar month. During these 2 periods, the 18 articles should always be with you. They should be as wings to a bird. Nice. None of these 18 articles should be missing. Sorry, that was the end of the quote from the Sutra of the Pure Net Bodhisattva Precepts. None of these 18 articles should be missing. If any were missing, it would be like a bird having lost a wing. Even with 1 wing remaining, it could never fly. Its conditions would not be those of the way of the birds. Bodhisattvas are also like this. Unless equipped with these 18 wings, they cannot practice the Bodhisattva way. And among the 18, the willow twig occupies first place. It should be supplied first. People who have clarified whether or not this willow twig is necessary may be bodhisattvas who have clarified the Buddha Dharma. People who have never clarified this matter may never have seen the Buddha Dharma even in a dream. This being so, to meet the willow twig is to meet the Buddhist patriarchs. For instance, if a person were to ask, "What is your intention?" I would reply, "You have been lucky to meet old man Ahei's chewing of the willow twig." The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the past, present and future, without exception, have received, retained in the past, present and future, these pure net Bodhisattva precepts. That being so, they have also received and retained in the past, present and future, the willow twig. Hang on a minute. Oh. Oh. Lemsip. Oh, that's disgusting. And wonderful at the same time. Let's try and press on. Pure criteria for Zen monasteries says, read, recite, and thoroughly understand both the 10 major precepts and the 48 minor precepts of the Pure Net Sutra of the Great Vehicle. and thus know well what is observance and what is violation, what is permissible and what is forbidden. Rely upon the sacred words of the golden mouth. That means the mouth of the Buddha. Do not follow ordinary people arbitrarily. Remember this. The principles authentically transmitted by the Buddhas and the patriarchs are like this. Anything that goes against this is not the Buddha's truth. It is not the Buddha Dharma. It is not the truth of the patriarchs. Nevertheless, in the great kingdom of Sung today, we do not see the willow twig at all. In the 4th lunar month of the 16th year of Keijo, 1223, when I first visited the mountains and temples of Great Sung, China, there was no monk who knew of the willow twig, and the whole nation, government and people, high and low, did not know of it. What do they use to brush their teeth? Did they brush their teeth? Maybe they didn't have moams. In the 4th lunar month of the 16th year of Keijo, I've just read that one. Because monks were completely ignorant of it, if I asked about the method of using the willow twig, they would grow pale and lose composure. It is pitiful that pure methods have been lost. People who at least scantily rinse their mouths use a device in which hair from a horse's tail has been cut into lengths of an inch or so and then planted like a horse's mane into the top 2 inches of an ox horn. This has been cut square in cross-section to a thickness of approximately 3 bu. 833. I can't remember how long a bu was. 3 bu is about 1/3 of an inch. And 6 or 7 sun in length, about 7 or 9 inches. They only clean their teeth with it. But this is hardly to be used as the utensil of a monk. It may be a vessel of impurity. It is not a vessel of the Buddha Dharma. Even pious secular people might be disgusted by it. Such devices are used by both secular people and monks as a tool for sweeping dust off shoes and also for brushing hair. There are slight variations in size, but it is the same thing. Even this device is used by only one person in 10,000. So monks and lay people throughout the country have terribly bad breath. When people speak from 2 or 3 feet away, the stench from their mouth is difficult to bear. Even those famed as venerable patriarchs who possess the truth, and those titled as guiding teachers of human beings and gods, do not know even of the existence of the practices of rinsing the mouth, scraping the tongue, and chewing the willow twig. Judging from this situation, we cannot guess in how many ways the great truth of the Buddhist patriarchs may now visibly be degenerating, even if not begrudging our present dewdrop life to the thousands of miles of blue waves. We traverse the mountains and rivers of foreign lands, intending to search for the truth. The unfortunate situation described above will give us cause for sadness. How many pure methods have been lost already? It is regrettable. It is very regrettable. Through the whole of Japan, by contrast, both monks and lay people experience the willow twig. This may be to experience the Buddha's brightness. At the same time, our chewing of the willow twig does not accord with the proper method, and the method of scraping the tongue has not been transmitted to us, so it may be that we are slipshod. Even so, those who know the necessity of using the willow twig, in contrast to the Chinese who do not know of the willow twig, have naturally come to know a method of the excellent ones. In the methods of the mountain hermits, too, they use the willow twig. Remember, it is in all cases an employment beyond dust and a tool of purification. Some footnotes. The mountain hermits, or a mountain-dwelling wizard, expresses the idea of a Taoist sage. An implement beyond dust. Getting out of the dust suggests in general transcendence of the secular world. Getting out of the dust. The Sutra of 3,000 Dignified Forms says, in using the willow twig there are 5 points. 1, it should be cut to the proper scale. 2, it should be split according to the proper method. 3, the chewed end must not exceed 3 bu. 4, for odd teeth, it should be centered and chewed 3 times. Odd teeth. 5, the sap should be used to bathe the eyes. Sap. Our present custom of cupping in the right hand and bathing the eyes with the water used in chewing the willow twig and rinsing the mouth is originally just the teaching of the Sutra of 3,000 Dignified Forms. Nowadays in Japan it has become a long-standing household tradition. The practice of scraping the tongue was imported by Master Issei. Master Issei or somebody. When you have finished using the willow twig, before throwing it away, split the twig in 2, tearing it with both hands from the chewed end. Place the sharp edge of the split twig crossways on the tongue surface and then scrape. That is to say, scoop water into the mouth with the right hand and rinse the mouth and scrape the tongue. Repeatedly rinse the mouth and scrape the tongue, scraping and scraping with the edge of the split willow twig as if aiming to draw blood. While rinsing the mouth, secretly recite the following sentence. The Garland Sutra says, washing out the mouth and cleaning the teeth, pray that all living beings proceed to the gate of pure Dharma and realize ultimate liberation. Repeatedly rinsing the mouth, using the flesh of the first, second or third fingers of the right hand to cleanse inside and outside the lips, under the tongue and to the roof of the mouth, leaving them as if thoroughly licked. Shortly after eating oily food, use honey locusts, small irregularly shaped green vegetables, roughly equal to the size of green beans. Here they should be used to clean oil from inside the mouth. In chapter 7, Master Dōgen explained the use of honey locusts in washing the hands, did he? I've forgotten that. As soon as you have finished with the willow twig, throw it away in an unobtrusive place. Then after disposing of the willow twig, snap the fingers 3 times. In the rear washstand there should be a box of discarded willow twigs. Elsewhere, discard the twig in some unobtrusive spot. Spit out the water used to rinse the mouth somewhere other than the wash bowl. Next, wash the face itself. Remember, this was a chapter about washing the face. Scooping hot water from the wash bowl with both hands, wash all over, starting with the forehead, then the eyebrows, the eyes, the nostrils, the inside of the ears, the cheekbones and the cheeks. First, douse them thoroughly with hot water, and after that scrub and wash them. Do not let tears, spit or nasal mucus fall into the hot water in the wash bowl. While washing like this, do not use up the hot water immoderately, spilling or splashing it from the wash bowl so that it runs out too soon. Wash until free of dirt and rid of grease. Wash inside the ears, for they are not usually able to contact water. Wash inside the eyes, for they cannot be cleaned through contact with sand. Sometimes we wash as far as the hairline on the scalp. This is dignified behavior itself. Having washed the face and thrown away the hot water left in the wash bowl, again snap the fingers 3 times. Next, wipe the face dry with one end of the hand towel. After that, take off the hand towel again, then fold it into 2 and hang it over the left forearm. In the washroom behind the cloud hall, there are face towels for common use. A long bolt, hiki, is a unit of cloth length. It is roughly the length of cloth needed to make one kimono, that is just over 20 meters of cloth. A long bolt of cloth is provided and there are charcoal braziers. Monks have no worries about lack of a towel for wiping the face. We may wipe the head and face with that common towel, or we may use our own hand towel. Each is the proper method. While washing the face, do not make a noise by clanking the dipper loudly against the wash bowl, and do not get the surrounding area wet by making a mess with the hot and cold water. Secretly reflect that, although we were born after the 500 years, and although we live on a remote island, the good we have accumulated in the past has not decayed. We should wholeheartedly rejoice that, receiving the authentic transmission of the dignified behavior of eternal Buddhas, we can enjoy untainted practice and experience. Born after the 500 years alludes to the belief that in the age of right Dharma, the first 500 years following the Buddha's death, the Dharma would flourish, after which it would decline. I think he's doing all right. On the way back to the cloud hall, the footsteps should be light and quiet. The cottages of aged monks of long accumulated virtue should always have a washstand. Not washing the face goes against the Dharma. There are methods for the use of facial medications at wash time. In sum, chewing the willow twig and washing the face are the right Dharma of eternal Buddhas, and people who are devoted to practicing the truth with the will to the truth should practice and experience them. To use cold water when hot water is not available is an ancient custom, a time-honoured method. If it is totally impossible to obtain hot water or cold water, then early in the morning we wipe the face thoroughly and apply fragrant herbs, powdered incense or the like, after which we may bow to the Buddha, recite sutras, burn incense and sit in zazen. Before we have washed the face, to perform any of the various practices is impolite. Shōbōgenzō Senmen preached to the assembly at Kanandori Kosho Horinji Temple on the 23rd of the 10th lunar month in the first year of Ino, 1239. And then there's a footnote. In India and China, kings, princes, ministers and officials, lay people and monks, men and women of the government and the public, farmers and common folk all wash their face. They possess wash bowls, sometimes of silver and sometimes of tin, among their household goods. They perform the service of washing the face every morning at religious shrines and spirit houses. They also offer the service of washing the face at the stupas of Buddhist patriarchs. After they have washed their faces and straightened their clothing, lay people and monks bow to gods, bow to spirits, bow to their ancestors and bow to their parents. They bow to their teachers, they bow to the three treasures, and they bow to the myriad souls of the triple world and the good guardians of the 10 directions. Those are the gods and benevolent spirits who are imagined to guard and protect the Buddha Dharma. Nowadays, even farmers and workers in the fields, fishermen and woodcutters, never forget to wash the face. But they do not chew the willow twig. In Japan, kings and ministers, the old and the young, the government and the public, the high and the low among laymen and monks, all unfailingly chew the willow twig and rinse the mouth. But they do not wash the face. Where they have one, they have lost the other. To maintain now both washing the face and chewing the willow twig is replenishment where there was insufficiency, and is the illuminating presence of the Buddhist patriarchs. Preached again to the assembly at the 20th day, on the 20th day of the 10th lunar month in the first year of Kangen, 1243, at Kippoji Temple in the Yoshida district of Eshu. Preached to the assembly on the 11th day of the first lunar month in the second year of Kancho, 1250, at Eiheiji Temple on Kichojizan Mountain in the Yoshida district of Eshu. Okay. That's all he has to say about washing the face. Thanks for listening. I got through it in the end, didn't I? Take care.